Okay, so
Yeah, feel free to share that. It's amazing. You're talking about the power of connections, right?
the,
And or the value of a person,
right. And
infinite.
so most people,
Mhm.
because of their upbringing, okay, and Danielle and I will speak about that, is that they're not aware of how precious they are. For example, me, like I'm like infinitely rich because I have three daughters, okay, that God has given me, and I have all this unconditional love, which is really truly happiness, and that's what we all want, you know. And there's times during the day that I'm celebrating with her, my youngest that still lives with me, and so I get those points, and then for all my daughters, whenever they go to bed, and I'd go into the room later and see them sleeping, it's like it just moves you. We call it happy tears, because you're so enriched when you have children that it's amazing, you know. And those who have spouses, you can feel the same way about that. Well, the same in your business. If you really care about making a difference with your product or service, then you're like totally rich. God's given you so much, and you have it within you. And like I was just mentioning to you, Bevan, the greatest miracle in the world by one of my mentors and favorite authors, Og Mandino. Strange name, OG, and Mandino, Og Mandino.
I may have heard of that book or
Yeah,
not, but I have read The Greatest Salesman in the World.
oh,
So this
yeah,
miracle is the miracle you?
yeah. The miracle is you,
Mm.
you know. And so you really add up. How valuable are you? And what you can give a thought, you can give a smile, you can give a touch, you can do something for somebody that would make a huge difference in their life.
So
And
I've been
that,
experiencing this lately, like recently. Do you remember the day when we talked and I'm like, can I video this? It's kind of like right here, right? And
yeah,
you told me about how I had connected you with people and it was very powerful for you. And you're talking about the positive experience for them and for you. And
right,
that same day, Julia Neiman did the same thing. So I had two. And not only that, we created spontaneous soul to soul talks that day. Normally we did them scheduled, right? Two
right,
spontaneous ones. And it was because of this. It's because I had introduced people. So they were raving to me and I had to record it. And it was like they're giving me a testimonial. And that's really touching because they're telling me how it changed their life, right? How they got more
right,
impact just from that one connection. And they said it was priceless.
right. And then because you're, like such a giver, like, we were talking earlier, a dog and cat, who come, because you're a giver, you initially want people to prosper in all areas of their life. And so your soul to soul, being the soul to soul connector, is exactly your gift to the world.
Yeah.
And so, like, you gifted to your members $1,000 on my starter package, the highlight the 5 buying habits. I mean,
Mhm.
that
And the
scholarship,
buying habits is starting to change my life. It started
and,
to make my marketing very powerful right away, and people get, what I'm doing right away from that now.
yeah, and the initial people that have joined from your gift, Pete, like immense, awesome gifts that he's gotten from that. And Linda, like, so all of a sudden, not only is the initial 1,000 work, but because then I combine my skill and talent, okay, and put that into Pete's life and Linda's life, they would have never had that without your gift.
Yes.
So,
They're able to give their gift to more people and also to give their gift better. Like you were just saying, Pete can now work with the charities or the nonprofits or what you were saying and make
right,
more of an impact and charging a higher rate, but he didn't know how to do that before. And you
right.
showed him how. Yeah.
Yeah, so he got a sense of what his real value is. And Linda's going like, wow, she is the, researcher. Okay, she is the expert in alternative wellness solutions. I mean, man, haven't we always wanted like a one-stop shop that if, we had a cold, what do we do? If you got diabetes, how do you deal with it? If you got all of these things. I
Yeah.
mean,
How do you take better care of yourself in a natural way?
right. And all of a sudden, she's found that, she's had two things, diabetes and fibromyalgia, that she's been able to heal. How many people have diabetes or fibromyalgia that would love to be cured of that?
Yeah.
I mean, and now she's there. That started with your gift because you realized the abundance that you had and you were willing to give to the people that are associated with you, giving them that to give to me. Then I put my energies and expertise in. Now your gift, my gift, it transforms them. And like you just said, they are now giving so much more into the community.
Wow.
And it's all because of the soul-to-soul connection that you've created. And,
All right. Oh yeah, please tell us about the soul-to-soul connection. Like, from what I understand, you're saying these people, because you're saying I'm bringing you like ideal clients.
right.
So
Because
they care, they want to have a soul-to-soul connection with others. They care
right.
deeply about people, right? And have a deep integrity. Is there more to it?
Well, yeah, because my passion, my goal, my gift, okay, is to create a more loving and resourceful connection with other people. So on a marketing level, when I do the business thing, I say the approach that I take is that it's your client, whoever you have, your prospect or your client, it's their birthday, or it's their faith. I'm a Christian, but I have brothers from another mother that are Muslim or some other faith. So if it's their celebration and they do gift giving, then you want to give that gift that how they would like to receive it. So, so I teach that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
so
you
in the
know what?
business,
I'm so excited. Like today, when I started to hear that you want to do this in the public schools, all the public schools across America, and then how the idea also expanded with the app and stuff. That's so awesome.
yeah,
So
it's,
teaching the kids how to get along better with each other, and it gets rid of the conflict, and then the teachers don't have to babysit them.
I know in today's age, how many teachers end up having to babysit the kids and then try to sneak the education somewhere in the middle. What
Yeah.
if they could just educate? Yeah.
Would you have guessed that when I was in, say, grade 6 or 7, I spent a bunch of time in the principal's office?
Yeah, I would, because I already know in the perfect phone number what your quadrant is, okay? Because you're like a rabbit, if they just understood that you were a rabbit, okay? And I affectionately use that, metaphor. Then they would go, oh, you know what? We, sitting in a chair, okay, for X number of hours a day, that's not how Bevan learns best.
Oh yeah, I hate it.
Right.
I
Get
like to
him
be
out.
out there in the jungle, jumping from rock to rock, like I do out here. And now I film it, and people can follow the whole way along.
Right, right. So, they just didn't know that. And I can give teachers, I can give educational systems and the answers so that they can more elegantly, more lovingly, and more consideration of the students that they really, truly want to reach. I mean, I have to say, like 95% of the teachers I've met are totally committed to making a difference in the children's life,
And it's said no student left behind, right? But when you don't have the tools to be able to reach those trouble students, right? But if
Yeah,
you really understand them, customize the communication to each one. That's
yes.
powerful.
Yeah, it's custom designed for them.
Yeah.
And then it's the experience that they have is so much more rewarding. You know, like you
Mhm.
said, it's it's just a better way to learn.
They're going to get
Or
a
the
soul connection with their students. The teachers will get that too, because then the students, they'll love each other, because instead of like this adversarial thing, adversaries into allies, they'll be able
right.
to do that. You're doing that.
Yeah,
I know we plugged Bob Burg's book there, but that's because that's in its title. I
yeah,
just mentioned that book to you today.
yeah, exactly.
Because see,
So
when I was interviewing him about the Go Giver, that was his name
yes,
at that time. Mhm.
absolutely. So, what happens then is that when you begin to realize what your gifts are, how valuable you are as a person, you're a multi-millionaire, billionaire, probably more is like it, that God, or whatever you call your creator, okay, whatever term you give to that, of why you're here, and what blessings you've been given as your unique gifts in life to share with somebody and enhance their life and to receive back from them, it, it's an enormous amount.
Mhm.
And to your credit, you
Your gifts
started
are
giving.
phenomenal. Oh, sorry. I had some weird feedback there, but your gifts are phenomenal for people, Matthew. Like, so this thing about communication that you've been describing, and so this has been changing my marketing and my business. It's really been making a big difference for me.
Yeah,
And then the
you're
other thing is talking with you and working with you, whichever. It's a lot of fun, right? That's a big thing.
right.
You noticed that was a gift that you have. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I've always, my motto is to be loving, have fun, do good. Okay, real simple,
Yeah.
you know. And it was a wonderful. I just got connected, seeing him on Facebook today. Is it was Meyerchuck or something? Gary?
Oh, Gary Vaynerchuk. Vaynerchuk.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
call him Gary V. That's the thing with that. It's hard sometimes to say it properly, but Gary V is easy.
Okay, but like he was saying today, he can't understand why people aren't just happy, And the reason is they may not have had the best childhood, They may
Oh,
have
yeah.
been, maybe they had a rough childhood because of one or both parents or no parents.
Yeah.
Maybe they were abused, okay? There's so many, like I know in my communication seminars in this country, 25 to 50% of the women were physically or sexually abused. I mean,
A lot.
devastating. Yeah, devastating. Their early childhood, and then that has ramifications. They were not aware that they weren't aware that it would affect. You know,
Hmm.
so being able to give people their, if you want to call it their life back, or I say, sometimes, you get
Yeah.
a second childhood. You do get a second childhood. So you can receive. I say you desire and deserve love in your life. You desire and deserve the best that you can have in your life,
Hmm.
because that's how God created us.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
I agree with
so
that. I like
and
I've said to God, like, anything that is blocking or limiting me from living the unlimited abundance life that you want for me, will you uncreate it, delete it, and destroy it across all time, dimension, space, and realities?
and
Thank you, God.
well and isn't it interesting that by proclaiming that affirmation, affirming who you are, okay, that like now you've drawn me and Danielle, okay, another soul to soul connection by you into your life. And then we're going to put on this program to help people get unstuck or get over, where their subconscious mind, their will is like consciously trying to, accomplish this and grow this or receive more love in their life, receive more happiness, more joy,
Mhm.
and somehow something drives them back. They're not aware that they're not aware that it's their subconscious mind.
Yeah.
And Danielle has one program that works. I have another one that works, and we're going to be sharing that with your group, okay? And they're going to have that offering that you have decided you're going to make this investment. We're talking, just tonight about it, maybe dollar for dollar for them.
Oh yeah.
So that they can attend the webinar that Danielle and I are going to provide for them. Okay.
And that's how we got into this discussion. You were
exactly.
like, well, I have to show you like how valuable you are. You're like trying to explain to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so like, you've presented to me, which I'm going to share with Danielle, that how valuable you are, to your soul-to-soul connection group, and that brings value to my life and to Danielle's. So it's like, and the people that will join us, they're going to free themselves up in so many ways at the subconscious level, which we'll explain, at that webinar.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking for 2 words, because the best Christian Michelson, I think he said, like, you got to be able to tell people in 2 words what it is. To get clients, we speak the language of results, right? And it's like, help people get clients, right? Or so with this, right. I think it's become free. You help them become free because they're getting their freedom back. Like, when you say get your life back, like that's true, right? It's like getting rid of the limitations, the limiting beliefs, breaking them, so you become free. So I think it's helping people become free.
Yeah.
What do you think? Maybe there's other words, but like I think those ones described it.
And in becoming free, that's going to relate. If they're in business, their business is going to expand enormously for them, because that block is gone. I'm not a computer tech guy, but I know enough about, delete, okay, and then add a new program. And that's basically like with the human mind. You delete the old junk that you weren't even aware that you
program that does like endless loops, right? It just keeps running loops. It's a cycle of repeating failure. You delete that program, you get the one that's, the best practices or whatever. It's already proven by people that have the same values as you. And you're doing it that way, that's in alignment with who you are, and you have the habits and the beliefs and mindset of those people, that kind of thing. Like download the best way to do it that's perfect for you, instead of like give negative self-talk and giving up.
Right. And then I coined my process the renewing of the mind. Okay, so that's the process. And I of course, because of my spiritual faith, have receive that from the Bible, where it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And people have at this great aha, they didn't realize what that passage actually meant, that you could renew your mind. Just like the big computer inside here can actually be reprogrammed. You can have a delete and install, okay? And it comes from you. It comes from God, not me. I'm just a facilitator, not Danielle. And she'll speak to, she's just a facilitator. We just happen to know, because in both of our lives, it worked for me and it worked for her. And that we're going to share some examples of that, and some of the examples of clients that have had that experience.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm just so grateful, because I've already started working with, a lot of your soul-to-soul connections that you have made, and they are like the finest people. They're the people I really enjoy working with,
This is because I didn't advertise to find people, right? This is because I connected with people one by one. I select them, right? Handpick.
Yeah.
And then I've done it for years. That's how we get these people.
Right. Right. And then now what you're doing is saying, hey, look, I love you so much. I believe in you, which is really strong, okay? That you're actually, I believe in you so much that I'm going to go dollar for dollar for you. You put in this, I'm going to put in that. And, I'm bringing you 2 people that can really make a difference in your life, Danielle and myself. And you choose if, and we're going to show them. There's 2 programs that we know work. One or both might work for them. They'll get to decide that, okay? Because Danielle and I are not in competition with each other. That's what's amazing, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
much
yeah.
of our business
That's
life
a
is
great
built.
thing about collaborating. Yeah, because you're
Yes,
helping people in a similar way or a similar kind of outcome, but it's like the process you get there is different. And you're a man,
right,
and she's a woman, and you have different things, and people resonate with one or the other. Some people may choose to go with one or the other, either, or go with both and get a more dynamic transformation.
right.
Yeah.
The thing we have both in common, we really know that the people that you're bringing forward are going to be the ones that most appreciate what we have to offer, that will live in gratitude for that. And then through that, what we're going to help them be able to accomplish, they're going to be able to then to share that with other people, which is going to, like your mission is to expand so you can take this soul to soul connection and really transform the world in we live in.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
Canadian.
The whole
You're
world.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Tell you that the TV stuff and the political climate is like if somebody differs from you, make them to be bad. I mean, like, it's scary. You can't have your kids grow up in an environment like that. If you're different, I should appreciate the difference in you. We can collaborate. We can do things together, and that's what I love about the people that you bring in the soul to soul connection that you are creating is that you get people that think collaborative, that think cooperative, and think about caring. And so I'm thrilled,
Oh yeah.
you know,
I'm thrilled for this collaboration too, Matthew.
yeah,
Um,
it's
when I asked you why do you want to do the thing with the schools, right? The school
yeah,
kids and the teachers, it benefits everyone. And you said you love people, and well, I'll just quote you: "I love people. If we learn to communicate with each other better, we would get along better, right?" And
right,
and so I wanted to share my message, a message that I have too, which is love yourself, love each other, care about each other, and help each other, right? What happens when you
right,
do this is it makes your life better. I have stories about this, like with my dad and stuff. And then also we've drilled back. I wrote it in Goodness Abounds, which is one of the inspirational books I co-authored this year. And in there, it's like this family helped my dad. He didn't have a place to live. They helped him, but then they also gave him a job too, and he helped them, right? Because he took care of their kids. So they gave him a place to live. He becomes part of the family. He's taking care of the kids, and then eventually he retires. He's getting paid with them and room and board and his pension, right? So he saves money. He's able to then after this he lived with me for a bit and oversaw me while I'm going to BCIT getting my surveying. He wants to make sure I was on the right track, right? I'm
right,
in there 2 years doing well, and so he's like, okay, he can see I've got it under control, and he went where he really wanted to be in the forest, right, out in the boonies, because he's a revolutionary. He wants to return to nature, right?
hmm
Back to the land, and he sets up a homestead on the bank of a river, which is great. And it's this river that he kayaked, which he loves to kayak, and he kayaked it in the past. And that lady was going down the river. She was upside down. This is years before, and he flipped her up. That's how they met and became friends. And because they were friends, then when he needed help, they helped him and gave him a place to live. Right now, he gets to live on the bank of that river. And then when I was in debt, $20,000 in like March or so of 2010, after that, he let me stay with him, gave me a place to stay, provided for me. And then after that, we were able to help each other, right? And then our lives got better. So like I helped him make that place way better. And then like, later I estimated and paid him money back, right? So then I'm like, by the end of that, my debt was around 30,000, right? In early 2013. I got $100,000 job that year, paid him back, right? Paid everything back, felt so good.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's it's so amazing that like the people that you're bringing together here through the soul to soul connection is like we have this common spirit, we have this common heart,
Oh, yeah.
and we're building a community that we all dream that um
I wanna share my mission, right?
oh
Um,
yeah,
I have my latest mission, but how about if I can bring it up? How about I show you what I've written? Like it's in my email signature, and it's about it's just another way to say it. So together we are God's hands and hearts on earth, creating the best world possible for everyone. It is time. Let us walk forward together into the world we know we can create together. We're connecting and collaborating for the full realization of heaven on earth now. And of course, heaven's connections and massive inspirational impact coming soon. Although now that's called Speakers Impact Mastermind, which is what I was telling you about earlier. So what do you think about these statements here? I wanted to get your feedback on that message before I share my latest mission, the way I've stated it.
It's pure. It's pure.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I love it. Here's my mission. It has a lot of words, but see, it's big, right? It's not just impacting 1 billion people, it's the whole planet, because we have to have a global vision. It's got to be for everyone.
Right.
We are the world, right? We got to be the change we want to see in the world. And I learned from Harrison Klein, like in an interview that I did with them, the first one, which was in 2016. It was the 3 greatest principles of achievement of all time. One of them is you have to have a global message of change. 2, you have to feel that you're the messenger of that change. And 3, you love yourself. You can do anything if you love yourself. You can accomplish anything. So see, it has to include the whole world. We can't just help one country kind of thing. So anyway, here's my new mission. And this mission is also why I work with people that have a mission to impact 1 million lives. They want it like Harrison Klein, right? He wants to impact 1 million lives himself personally.
Right.
And Bob Proctor, Brian Tracy, these kind of people have or a mission to impact 1 million lives a year, that kind of thing. Or it's they want to impact 1 billion lives, like share and love 1 billion people with you, right? Collaboratively. Right. It's like that, and that's kind of what mine is like, right? Collaboratively. So that's why I work with people that want to impact 1 million lives or more, right? Okay, and you'll see why. My mission is to inspire humanity to be self-empowered, free, abundant, and united. Imagine for a moment a world where we're all aligned with divine source. We all give our gifts to the world unconditionally. We do what we love, and we live with deep integrity and dignity, feeling loved and respected for being who we truly are. This world is possible, and we can create it together.
Yeah. And I come from an athletic background, and so I'm used to playing at a championship level and have coached championship teams. And it's like this opportunity is that the team is all of us, okay? And there's a quote that I actually have had a plaque made of from Herb Brooks, who was the the coach of the Olympic hockey team for the United States of America when it beat Russia on its way to the gold medal. And he says, you are meant to be a player, and that you were meant to be here, and this moment is yours. And it goes like, whoa,
and when this moment is yours, make it happen. It's time to make it happen. See, great. You're talking about greatness, right? This is so cool. This was the theme of the $1 Million Strategic Alliance Summit, the first one. They did it before, but it wasn't called $1 Million, right? And I got to speak at this thing, right? This last year, 2017, was quite transformational for me. It says here, greatness is not in where we stand, but in what direction we are moving. We must sail sometimes with the wind and sometimes against it. Oliver Wendell Holmes. Didn't Jim Rohn say it's not the wind, right? It's the set of the sails, right? Where are you going? The set of the sails of your thinking, your psychology, your philosophy, right? Where are we going? So Dr. Jeffrey McGee said, like in his philosophy, this this world, we're here for a reason, right? We have a gift. We're here to contribute in some way, contribute something meaningful. And it's like if you don't contribute something meaningful, get off the planet. I know it's kind of difficult to do that, but there are some people who are unreasonable thinkers who are making it easier to do that, right? Like Richard Branson. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great. I'm excited to be a part of it with you. So
thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Likewise. And I'll be introducing you to Harrison Klein very soon. Because I just found out from him in the interview yesterday about his global vision, a cause, right, of revamping the world's education system completely. And so then when you shared that thing that you're very passionate about, you know, that fits with it. I got to connect you.
Awesome.
All right.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Well, where can people find out more about you and your work?
There's 2 websites they can do if you're looking more in the business sense right now. I have kind of a express website up, and it's www.the and the number 5, if I got them all, 5buyinghabits.com, the5buyinghabits.com. If you put the word in, I think it still redirects to that. So it's really great. I have a very short 3-minute video that outlines the 5 buying habits. And then
this is something, so this is what 99% of small and medium-sized businesses don't know, right, about why your customers really buy. And so if you're wasting time talking to the wrong people, maybe at trade shows, you don't know why some people waste time and others don't, and why some people need persuading or whatever.
Yeah, and people don't realize that, you know, these giant corporations that have millions of dollars to spend on experts like myself to head them in a certain direction, they've been using this for years. They can sell online or on their advertising in 10 seconds to 30 seconds. How can you do that? You know, how does General Motors, General Mills, all these huge Fortune 100 companies, how can they produce the products? And that short video kind of outlines that. And then, of course, taking the program, then you move from not knowing to knowing, you know, and from not even being aware that you didn't know to, you know, you remember your first aha, like, oh, you couldn't believe that that's actually what was going on, even though intuitively you knew it, you experienced it, but you didn't know how to use it for yourself in your business.
Yeah, and it makes you so much more targeted. If you're a small business, if you're an entrepreneur, like especially a solopreneur, you can't help everybody, right? Even big companies can't be everything to all people, right? So you need to know who those people are, and this is a way of being so specific and so targeted, and then you'll be able to get the exact words that resonate with those people, but don't turn them off, right? But it doesn't matter to other people, right? And actually, you may even be marketing to multiple of those groups and actually need to create a funnel for each one separately. And that's why there's those at least 5 different cereals. There's all those different styles of vehicles like you showed, right?
Yeah, right. And it's just amazing from that. So, you know, go to the 5buyinghabits.com if you're, you know, in business or entrepreneur. Even if you're not, you just want to become aware of for your own self that maybe you've been pre-programmed or, you know, to buy a certain way. You didn't know that that's naturally how you buy. And these companies, some of them, and you'll hear about, know that, and you didn't, you know, so you always want to be.
It's quite interesting.
You want to be
one about
careful
with General Mills and the special kind of cereal.
Right. So you know, if you're revolutionary and you're concerned about what the system has been trying to do to you, you got an answer coming right laid in front of you. I'm going to give you those answers, and you'll be absolutely shocked, amazed, and happy that you know these now. And then,
and you know, I bet you'll be able to astound your friends with this knowledge because most people just don't know it.
Actually, it's a good thing. I actually, when people come to my, seminars, okay, and if somebody hasn't been to my, I give this to people who have not attended one of my seminars, is that I actually give them a full 1 week vacation, okay, lodging, and yeah, right, and it can be a 1 or 2 bedroom lodging at a beautiful resort. There's 3,500 resorts to choose from. I give them that lodging if they can tell me what the 5 buying habits to literally prove that 99% and more, don't know. And in 20 years, I've given 3 vacations because I kind of was a lifeline to them. They kind of intuitively were so strong that they knew there were differences, and they kind of analyzed it, but they didn't know exactly, how to put, but they were close enough. But
So they named them. They didn't name them with your names, but they were
right.
identifying those groups and kind
Yeah,
of describing them, and so they got close enough. So
yeah,
you give away vacations in other ways too, though, right?
yeah.
Okay,
Right.
but
I
in
do a
that
lot of
one, uh-huh.
right. I do charity work and put vacations up for their live auctions to raise a ton of money in a short period of time.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
love give a donation, get a vacation. That's so cool.
yeah, and that, if they go to worldwidedreambuilders.com, it's not the Amway group that people think of. Okay, I actually own worldwidedreambuilders.com.
This is because Matthew's a smart man.
Right, I was ahead of the curve on that one. And you'll see me with the founders of Habitat for Humanity, Millard and Linda Fuller, at a build that they had designed in Louisiana after Katrina had hit in 2005. We were there in 2006 building, and we spontaneously decided, let's have a give a donation, get a vacation program. And that's on that little video with them, with God bless their souls for the work that they have created for millions of lives around the world.
They created Habitat for Humanity, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
they're the
that
founder.
video was inspired. That was inspiring to me, and thank you for giving this context behind it too.
Yeah, I never got to work with Mother Teresa, but working side by side with Millard and Linda Fuller, who now, like their Fuller Foundation came out of the Habitat for Humanity programs that they started. I mean, you felt like you working right along with God. I mean, they are true saints in the. When you watch the video at worldwidedreambuilders.com, you're going to see Linda Fuller has her arm in a cast, and she's still out there working. Those two were not executives. They were hands-on. They worked hand in hand with all the other volunteers out there building. They were on site. It's just amazing who they are. And I was thrilled and blessed to work alongside them and to help them. And then the other website they could go to with the communication skills I want to get into every school internationally is masteryofloving.com. If you go to masteryofloving.com, please forgive me, I'm a dinosaur, so it's still like a library site, I call it, but there's enough information in there. And you'll see, you'll see my credentials and that, my background, and more important, look at the testimonials, the video testimonials that you can listen to the people who changed their lives with the information that I was able to provide them in that. So that information not only works as it does for couples, for parents to children, but it works for person-to-person communication. And it's I've been blessed to work with it and learn from so many masters and mentors in the field of communication, and that I provide myself as an expert in that field now in the mastery of loving, and I've been doing that for over 30 years. In that ages, I've been doing that since age of 6. Can you believe that?
Wow.
No, I'm an old timer, but that information is is for all ages at any time, you know? I mean, I hope that so many of these things, we were talking earlier about cat and dog, you know, using the metaphors, just to learn one part that can be critical in the communication between people, as you know, and the youth to know that so that they can be happier. And you know, the anti-bullying programs, everyone should have this mastery of loving, because it can help children and adults move out of the space of, you know, how do you communicate when you're hurt? So it helps the bullies stop the bullying, and it helps the kids that have, or adults that have been affected, be able to move through that and move on. So
Wow. So it's such important work.
yeah, it's been a mission. It's my commitment that I have, you know, to my God, to and provide that.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
of
well, it's
course,
an honor to be working with you, and now helping you to soar online.
well,
And
thank you,
oh
Devin,
yeah,
and I appreciate
Lada.
you.
Oh, thank you, Lada. Like either I connected with her or she connected with me. Right? We connected through Facebook years ago,
Oh
2010 or
yeah,
2011 probably. And when I was writing my first social media book, and she helped me with that. She helped me with marketing it. Asked me what were the three main messages in it. Anyway, that was a great question because it's helped me along my path later when I looked back and I got more on my path of purpose. And went to the next level of things, right? Went deeper. Like there's an energy, an intention behind our communication, not just like what we're typing, right? Because I was doing
right.
social media stuff and I did lots of it, connecting with people and communicating with them and showing people how to use social media to build their business and grow it. But I just realized there was like energy and intention that affects the outcome of our communication. So then I wrote about that in the first co-authored book that I did, and created high vibrational connecting. And no one's looking for high vibrational connecting, maybe, right? The words.
Right.
But later you gave me soul to soul connector, and now people get that soul to soul connector, right? We're connecting on a
Right.
level. And so that was years later. But yeah, she helped me along that path when she asked me that one question: what are the three main messages you want to deliver in this course? And she may have learned it from you. And she started to tell me about your stuff. She just kind of pointed to your website, Mastery of Loving. And I didn't know what it was about for a long time. And eventually I'm so glad that thank you for joining the Do What You Love Mastermind back in
Yeah,
December 2016. And then, months later, we started to collaborate closer. And it's quite exciting what's happening now. And what's going to happen this year, 2018, is going to be mind blowing.
I know it's going to be so phenomenal, and the energy just keeps increasing, you know, because it's collaborative energy, like
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about before we got onto this recording thing, which is public, right? But before this, in
Right.
private, I don't know, like it's like it was kind of like rabbits, right? With the different ideas, but there's a lot of amazing things here.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing this.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to collaborating with Danielle now to put on this, you know, incredible program. So the first one, the introduction, so that they can understand, is completely free.
Mm-hmm.
So they can jump on this webinar and learn, and then choose, you know, is this for me or not? You know, it's like, you know, it's going to be a little buffet.
So this is going to be about becoming free.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
and
looking forward to it.
And looking at the richness, you know, how rich they really are, and to be able to access it. See, one thing I've learned through the years is the answers are there, but sometimes people don't know how to access it.
Okay.
And that's what,
this
you know.
is really important. Like I was interviewing Harrison Klein yesterday, and he took a huge step up in the past when Darius Barzande gave him a challenge. Like he gave him an actual goal, like sell at least 300 units when we do this. This will help sustain my platform, right? And Harrison got inspired with that. He'd never been given an exact goal before to sell 300 of whatever his product is. And then so he said he thought about it. He's like, I can do more, right? And he chose to do a certain amount, 1,000 or something.
Right.
He put himself into some energetic state. And that was the key thing. This is what so many people are missing. that they have to be in the energy of it, right? You have to be the change you want to see in the world. Like there's like these different levels of consciousness, you might have said, or growth of consciousness. And it was like just like doing what other people have told you. So it's like from the book learning, and then there's like then there's like inspiration. And when you're inspired, then you'll get support wherever you go, because it's an inspired plan, right? Inspired idea, you're acting on it.
Right.
And the third, the higher one than that even, is being it, is being whatever you wanted, right? That you wanted to see that change in the world. You're just being it. And that's that highest level, that higher level.
You know, and that prompted something in my mind about that, about like not being aware, okay, that you're not aware. One of the greatest mentors I've ever had, and I've been so blessed with so many, is a gentleman by the name of Peter Daniels, who is now a very wealthy real estate mogul in Australia, okay? And I met him because he was on the board of Robert Schuller's church, the Crystal Cathedral, and he happened to be a guest speaker at Living Word Christian Center here in the Minneapolis area. But prior to that, I had flown to, when I heard he was coming to the United States, I flew to Detroit, Michigan, to hear him speak, because, I mean, how rare is it that you get to, you know, meet somebody one-on-one with, that has the ability to change your life to an incredible nature. And Peter Daniels, he talked about being a common bricklayer illiterate at the age of 25. And he said the reason is that he listened to and believed a teacher once, and I think it was the third or fourth grade, Mrs. Phillips, who said, Peter Daniels, you will never amount to anything. And that went into his subconscious mind. Even if he wanted to, your subconscious mind, and we're talking about it, is so powerful, it accepted that as truth. So he wasn't able to change his life. You know, can you imagine, from third grade to the age of 25, he couldn't, you know, read and write. He was just a common bricklayer, because you're only left with your hands then, you know, because your mind was never tooled up, you know, never knew what he had. And he went to a Billy Graham crusade in Australia, and Billy Graham pronounced to the whole audience, but it was like, he said it was speaking to him. He said, you are the son of a king and heir to his kingdom. So like, if God is your king and you're a child of God, you are now, like the royal family in England, you are an heir to that kingdom. And he said he never knew that. And then from that day forward, because he became then aware of who he really was, where before he was not aware that he wasn't even aware, then he self-educated himself. He learned from those he could learn from and became a multi-millionaire, and now has gone around the world evangelizing for Jesus. Okay, if that happens to be his faith. If you're of a different faith, it's fine. The key is he learned how wealthy he was, how much he was worth truly. Like I said earlier, Og Mandino's book, you'll get it, The Greatest Miracle in the World. You know, you'll find out, you know, how valuable you are, and when you do, how much could you give to the world? You know, we know so much.
He says, I'm the greatest salesman in the world. Today I will multiply my value 100-fold. I did this like a couple nights ago, maybe last night or the night before, because I was like, oh yeah, this is just because I'm like, oh no. It was probably the day before I did the interview with Harrison Klein, right? Because I was not feeling so great back then. So that night I said, okay, yeah, I'm like, today I will multiply my value 100-fold. I think it was probably the next day we did the interview, because we'd already booked it a few days or the week before. But anyway, the energy there, it's like when you connect with people like Harrison and you, Alicia Power, right? There's different people I've connected with, Rennie Gabriel, Sal Rakelli. some different people I've interviewed, and Bob Berg, right? The echo of money is the echo of value, right? When you do this, when you connect with people, it gives you access to energy and information that you can use to change your life, like he did, right? And but it's the thing you're talking about is this limiting belief. And when I was
Right.
in high school, my best friend said to me, like I might have talked about like beautiful women or something, and he said, guys like us can't get women like that.
Well, when you said that just a couple nights ago that you had read, reread Augmentino's book, I just got chills because I didn't know that.
I didn't
know
read
that
the
until,
book. I didn't read it. I was just quoting from it. I'm like, oh yeah, because I was kind of low, so I'm like, oh yeah, okay,
right.
time to multiply my value 100-fold because I was worried about money, right?
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to pay for this next thing, right?
Right. And
So
now,
I needed a bit more
tonight,
value. Uh-huh.
right. And tonight you made a decision. You're paying dollar for dollar for everybody that's a part of your association, okay, that wants to take advantage of either Danielle, myself, or both of us, okay. You have to have enormous wealth to do that.
You're right.
And you accessed it.
And I was like, wow. I was just like, wow, you're being so generous, Matthew. And then you're like, you're actually giving it to them. I'm like, what?
Right.
You start to explain it to me.
Right. And then, which is interesting because it follows Peter Daniels after he became, wealthy and enriched in all areas, okay, infinitely because he's heir to the kingdom. He wrote a book and he dedicated to his third grade teacher. And the book is, you can pick it up at it.
Oh.
The book title is Mrs. Phillips, You Were Wrong.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
It's dedicated to her.
Mrs. Phillips. Yeah, he dedicated the
Wow.
book. Mrs. Phillips. The title is Mrs. Phillips, You Were Wrong.
That's great.
And in there, he explains.
That is so great.
The thing. There's nothing like success to get things straight with when you've been mistreated, wronged, or anything. And Danielle and I are going to put each of you that want to take advantage of this opportunity to be successful in all areas of your life.
Yeah, and financial abundance, any area, relationship, financial,
relationship
connection.
Yeah.
I looked on this website, just so I don't remember whose site, but just like yesterday or sometime recently, and it said if someone, anyone, or like your parents, right, told you we can't afford that, that's like people like us or whatever, these kind of things, that was you were getting financially abused. I hadn't heard that before, but that's true. It's when someone doesn't speak the truth to you, they put a limiting belief in, because the truth is God's truth, which is infinite abundance, right? You are like what you were just telling me for that guy when he got the truth from someone else.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Welcome, that first webinar that we're going to do for your group, Danielle and I. It's completely free because you gifted it. Okay, you paid for us to show up to give them that first bit, and then they can go further if they want to. They can actually retain our services if they'd like. Okay, to get them free, and it's going to be pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
that's
thank you. Yeah, thank you for your gift that you're giving to them to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for yours.
We're all in it together.
Yeah, we're in it together. We're God's hands and hands and eyes and brains here on earth doing the work to create heaven on earth together.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Many blessings.
Terrific.
Matthew.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Bevan. And we'll look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Me too.